What's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review. It might be a little early in the process of me playing this game that I'm going to do a review, but I think I have enough content done in the game to do one, and that is of Jurassic World Evolution 2. I have done a video playing Jurassic World Evolution, at least the battle arenas sort of thing on this channel. Haven't done a formal game review, probably won't, because I'm going to compare the two. Because when this game was announced, when I heard about this game, I thought it very peculiar that they were making a second version of a game like this. Because making a second Jurassic World Evolution game is like making a second Planet Coaster game, or making like a second Township game and calling it just Township 2 or Planet Coaster 2. It doesn't really feel necessary for a game like this. You know, you'd think that they would just do updates and add expansions to the game and stuff like that. Yet they just made a whole new game and put it all in there. It just doesn't seem necessary to me for that to happen. But they did add a lot of stuff that I felt was necessary to add it on. A lot of things that if they just added it onto the first game probably would have been DLC. And there is DLC in Jurassic World Evolution 2. I'm not going to go into the DLC because I'm not playing with the DLC. I'm only doing the base game stuff. But there is a lot more to do in just the base game of Jurassic World Evolution 2. There's also new stuff added, as well as older stuff coming back. So we're going to go into that right now. So first off is the main campaign, the main storyline. That's a lot smaller than it is in the first Jurassic World Evolution game. But what they do is you remember in the first game they had DLC for like Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and stuff like that. Not Jurassic World, but Jurassic Park and all the past movies. This game, that's not DLC. You get to play as that in the base game, and each of their mini like bonus challenges sort of thing. Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom are all in this game. What they also do is they hint towards Jurassic World Dominion, the newest movie the newest movie that's coming out in June, that I'm definitely going to go see as soon as possible when it comes out, and do a review on it, obviously. But they hint towards that in the main campaign. The main campaign is not any of the movies. It's really just focusing on dino preservation, which is what they're going to be talking about probably in Jurassic World Dominion. That's kind of hinting towards that. You're in like real life places. You're in Arizona, California, Washington, Pennsylvania, and you're wrangling up dinos and transferring them to locations and working on preservation and education and stuff like that. And so that's really cool. And you also get experience to a new thing in that game, that in the campaign that you don't get. A couple of things you don't get. One is compies. They added compies to this game. They're really hard to see, but there's one specific portion of the campaign where you go out and take pictures, and you can take a picture of the compies. Even though you might not be able to see them, the game says that they're there. So that's good. I was really hoping that they would bring compies in the game, and they did. They also brought in flyers. They made aviaries. You can do your own aviary now, and that's a lot of fun as well. It can be a little bit challenging because the dinosaurs themselves, what's it called? The conditions for the dinosaurs, they're a lot more specific than they were in the first game. So you have and they get aggravated a lot easier. And for the flyers, because of the small space, and you got to do all sorts of that, and you figure that out. You figure it out as you go, though. It's not really a hard campaign. I did it like a couple hours. There's like 5 levels, and you just make sure that you do all the missions, and then boom, you're done. I mean, it's not that hard. I'm working on the Jurassic Park version right now. They tried to do a Richard Attenborough look-alike as John Hammond. The voice is not really the same, but it's close enough to where you could recognize it. So I think that's a nice touch. And they do a lot of hints towards Dominion, especially in that. And there's a lot more content in this game. Another thing, they hint towards the Mosasaur, and I'm really hoping that the Mosasaur is in the game. Like underwater stuff. That would be a lot of fun as well. They also have a lot of the a lot more things that would be DLC in the first game are not in this game. And I think that's a lot of fun as well. Like the Raptor skins and vehicle skins. By the way, the vehicles are so tough. Like I hit a Gallimimus while driving around, and I go flying in the air and do tumbles all over the ground and fall into the water shit, and it loses a bumper, and that's it. I think that was so crazy. But yeah, let me talk about this like driving around aspect, because in the campaign especially, what you do is you go around and you wrangle up wild dinosaurs, and you have to literally go and shrink them in the helicopter. That's been a little bit updated to be a little bit more accurate, a little bit easier to shrink them. So that's been nice. But then you can also go out with a ranger thing, and they have this new thing called ranger posts, and you gotta set one up. So then the ranger guys have to go out and do status checks on the dinosaurs, and that's how you figure out what conditions they want. And sometimes you have to redo them. There's also a pretty annoying thing where you have power. You can run out of power. Like run out of fuel for the power, and you have to fill that up. That's not in the first game, and I think that kind of sucks. Another thing I don't like is the staff management. This is really probably to give scientists, and you have to assign scientists to expeditions to go dig up fossils or go wrangle up loose dinosaurs that are in like countries or in other states or whatever. And you have to go do that, and then they also can extract them, and you can also get incubate the dinosaurs, which is awesome. They are bringing the hatcheries back, and they're a little bit more specific, a little bit more to do to get to a point where you have to do that, where you can let them loose finally or whatever, which is okay. It's not really that tedious, but it's just a little bit more work to do. And they have like a science center, and like you have to build a staff building, and you have to make sure they rest, and they can only do like a certain amount of expeditions. Some of them you have to hire them and stuff like that. And I'm like, and that's like when you have to do in Planet Coaster. It's not as annoying as it is in Planet Coaster, where like 15 staff quit because they are not doing enough work. Because who quits when they don't have enough work to do? So it's not that bad, but they get like aggravated, disgruntled, and they take a long time to rest and get fixed. And when you have a lot of tasks to complete at one time, it can get pretty annoying. So that kind of takes away from the fun aspect of it. I don't know. It's not horrible. I think they did a really good job with a lot of the models. Like they remade the visitor center, did a lot of cool. The islands are nice and stuff like that. And there's a lot more content to do, which I think is a lot more fun, because they also have like challenges, and they have the sandbox mode, which I haven't really played with yet. But you get to do those as well, along with the main campaign, which I've already completed, and then each of the movies. So overall, there's a lot more content to do in the game, as far as like a storyline to follow, and a lot more buildings, and there's a lot more, and you can have updated viewing galleries, which are adaptive to whatever movie you're working with. And then you can also build a park as well, or a research facility, and you have to refuel everything, but you get it done and you do what you have to do. However, again, was it necessary? And that's kind of the question I was talking about. Is it necessary? Because I don't know if it really is. My thing is, I don't know if it was really necessary. I'm going to say no. I don't think the game was really necessary. I think they could have just added on some expansions on the original game and updated it. Now, being it for console, what are you going to do? I think they really didn't have a lot of room to expand. They were adding a lot of DLC to it, and I think to get the people that bought the DLC just get a big old middle finger, because now there's a whole nother game that includes what they got in the DLC and more included with the game. So then that's kind of sucks. But hey, it's a pretty good game. I like the game so far. A lot of fun stuff to do in it, and I recommend buying it if you like the first one and are kind of bored with it and don't want to get the DLC. If you got the DLC, I would wait a little bit till you get the full use out of the DLC in Jurassic World Evolution before you get Jurassic World Evolution 2. I didn't get the DLC in the first game, and I'm getting it in the second one. Which I think the DLC in the second game involves the Indoraptor. I think that's really it. Which you can get it in the first game. I don't know. It's got the Indoraptor on it, so whatever. I don't know. But that's my review. As far, I'm not gonna rank the game based on its necessity. I'm gonna rank it based on how it is. And it's gonna get a nice 9 out of 10 for me. A lot of cool stuff to do, a lot of updated stuff, a lot of stuff that should have been in the first game that wasn't, which was nice. And but again, I don't know if it's really necessary. So, what are your thoughts in the comment section down below? Do you think it's necessary or not? Let's talk. And that's it for this game review, though. So stay tuned for much more amazing content coming to you. I got a lot of fun stuff, so stay tuned. Until next time, everybody, I'll see you guys later. And goodbye.